y'all, it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm playing along with Follow a Sketch Friday Post-it Note Edition with Sandy Reversky from State Goddess here on YouTube. And this is the sketch that she has drawn on a Post-it note. And I'm loving these little cluster areas and what I'm going to interpret as some torn paper. It's got two photos. And I actually am going to be doing two photos today. I have these two pictures of me that I'm going to be scrapping. I usually don't have pictures of myself. I'm usually the one taking pictures, so that'll be fun. I've got some papers and other things picked out from my mood board magic kit, so let's get started. Let's just take a second and appreciate that beautiful paper. Oh, I love it so much. So what I am going to do first is cut a strip off of this beautiful paper, and I'm going to use these leaf dies to cut some die cuts. And these are kind of like the leaf bones, the hard veins that are left over after they have fallen off the tree. And I'm going to use my little sidekick here. I was so glad that I could use this little die cutting machine instead of having to get out my really big one. And I'm just making sure that those little pieces will come out easily. And I'm just trying to be very economical with this paper because it's so pretty and I want to use every single little bit of it. I'm planning on using a little heart punch and punch out some hearts from the paper that is left over there. And I think I really just needed to run that through once. The die cut really well. And then here is the paper that I'm going to use for my background. It's a Heidi Swap paper. I'm going to trim my pictures down to 5 inches. So they're 5 by 4s. And I'm getting a feel for where I want them to be on the page and where I need to start my tearing. So I've got this paper here that is going to be the main paper, so it's my background, and I do want the white to show, but this paper is actually kind of thick, and so when I was tearing the paper, the white core there still wanted to hang on. So I had to get some of that off. And then I'm going to be using this paper here. I'm going to cut off a little strip of it. And then this blue one here, I am using kind of like my accent color. And I want to make sure that I have the white core showing for both of these strips of paper. And as I was looking at the sketch, I was thinking in my head that I needed 3 torn papers, and which I do have right here. And then, but what I needed was just 3 torn edges, not necessarily, 3 torn papers. But for some reason, I was not counting the background paper that I ripped first. So I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think, why does this not look right? Why does this only look like there are 2 papers when I need 3 papers? But really I just needed 3 torn edges. But I don't know what was going on in my brain, but it took me a long time to get this figured out exactly how I wanted it. And I do end up with 3 torn papers because I went ahead and I've tore this one again instead of just 3 torn edges like what's in the sketch. And I'm not sure if that's supposed to be torn or, you know, how we're supposed to interpret that. I guess it's however we would like. So since I have torn all of these papers, now I'm going to have to put them all back together again to make my 12 by 12. And first though, I have them kind of like this, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't like how this order is. So I'm going to switch these around a little bit, and I didn't like that one either. So I'm trying it a different way, and this is what I end up with. So I have spared y'all me trying to glue, or I don't actually glue it. I use my ATG tape, but I have spared you having to watch me try and put all that back together again so that it's 12 by 12. And it's actually, it's not exactly right, but it's close enough. It's fine. It works out just fine, so we're going to leave it. But here I have put in piles the leaves that I plan on using, and in the areas that I plan on using them. And I have got my title started with those little navy thickers, and I'm going to use this little die set here to make just a little bit bigger to use a little bit bigger letters for the word me, because my title is This Is Me. And because I didn't have another thicker set, I've gone ahead and used some craft foam, and I was so excited that I had a kind of a navy color that almost perfectly matches the navy of those little thickers. So I have that cut out now, and I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down. And for half a second I did think about putting a mat behind them. I almost always have some kind of a mat behind my photos, but the sketch does not have a mat, and while I'm sure it would be perfectly fine to put a mat down, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna kind of break out of my mold here. I'm not gonna put a mat on my photos, and I kind of like how it is. I like how it has turned out. So here I am figuring out how I want to put my leaves down, and I'm getting them glued down. And of course I get a little glue on my photo. That's par for the course. It's not a layout that I've made if I don't have glue or some kind of sticky that has ended up on my photo. Now this sticker sheet here is Heidi Swap sticker sheet, and I think it actually is from the same collection that this paper is from, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I think it ends up working out just fine. Now my leaves are cut from kind of a coppery colored paper, and the label that I have pulled off has a gold border, but I am not caring about that. It's not bothering me at all for this particular layout that my metals are being mixed. In fact, I'm fixing to bring in some silver as well, because I picked out the blue brads that I have in this little lump and bump pack from my kit. And I'm just going to put 3 different brads here onto each one of my little cluster areas. And I also picked out this chipboard from the pack, and I didn't originally plan on having that there. It just kind of was presented itself, and I was like, ooh, I like that. So I put that down. And then I also have this metal camera shaped paper clip that I want to use. And I also have this little word sticker that says love this. And I've got that down there. I started out with the Love This sticker, but I didn't want it to be all by itself. So I was really happy to find that chipboard there. And I love the little flowers. I think the colors just really go very well. And I decided to pop up the Love This sticker on some of that navy foam. And then I'm going to mess around with this paper clip for a very long time. Because I want it to be a certain way. And I'm trying to think in my mind, okay, how am I going to attach this? Because I want it right there in that corner. I love how that all looks together. I think this particular cluster on this page is my most favorite out of all of them. Well, I mean, there's only 3, but out of the 3, that one down there is my favorite. I think it looks the best. But since I can't figure out how I want to attach that paper clip, because, excuse me, obviously I can't use it as a paper clip, or you lose the fact that it's a camera. I do what I always do when I can't figure something out. I go do something else. So I am trying to figure out how I want the other clusters to go. And all of these clusters are big clusters. I did not follow the guideline of having a big cluster and a medium cluster and a small cluster. I had thought about doing that, but then I was like, well, all of my leaves are pretty big all by themselves. So I decided that I was just going to go for it, and I was going to build up big clusters. And so I picked out some things to go into my leaf clusters that kind of relate to me. So here by the title, I have a stack of books because I absolutely love to read. So I have got that there. And then in this upper left-hand one, I have glasses in my cluster because I wear glasses. Or occasionally I'll have contacts on. I used to wear contacts all the time. But now that I have gotten a bit older and the eyesight is starting to go, it's like I can't see anyway if I don't have corrective lenses on. But now that I'm older, it's getting even worse because now the readers are having to come out. So I've got to, it's hard. I am nearsighted. So I actually see better with my glasses off for things close up. And if I can't take my contacts out to look at things close up, like I can take glasses off to look at things close up. But anyways, y'all didn't come here to hear me talk about my glasses. But I've got glasses up there, and that heart actually says, that's up there, it says, autumn is in my heart. And of course, autumn or fall is my most favorite time of year, so I had to put that on there because that's related to me. And I also have a die cut there of a little vase with flowers in it, and I've just mainly put that there because that little envelope with flowers coming out of it is down in the bottom left cluster, and so I wanted to put flowers there, which is also the reason why I went outside of my kit. I am a notorious kit cheater. I went outside of my kit to get some more flowers from this little collection here. It's a Simple Stories collection called Cozy Days. It's from like a year or 2 ago. And I needed some more flowers so that I could have flowers in all 3 of my clusters. And then I am going to put as a next to my final touch, I'm going to put some enamel dots down, and I've got this kind of a grayish blue, and then that kind of a mauvey color that I'm putting down to finish off my little set of 3 there. that I started with my brads. And so I've got copper on here, I've got gold on here, I've got silver on here, and now I have my, not my Distress mica stain. I'm actually using one of the Distress spritzes this time, and it's kind of a rusty red color. I think it is called Rusty Hinge. And I'm not actually done. I have got to get that little paper clip put on there, and it finally dawned on me I can bend it. I don't know why it took me so long, but since I could bend it, it doesn't pop off anymore, and I can just put a little bitty zot on that one little spot and then tuck it under the little word sticker there, and so now it stays on and it doesn't pop off. And that is gonna do it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the links below to see Sandy and how she has done her layout, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.